Bonjour mes amis, let me take you on a 4 to 5 day itinerary to Montreal, a city full of culture and history, friendly people, amazing food and drinks, and a beautiful traditional streets and buildings. The first night after landing is a great time to check into your Air BNB, freshen up and Uber into the old port of Montreal at night to find food. Linguine, lobster mac and cheese, and a tuna tataki. With some time left in the night, walk the city streets and explore the little souvenir, crafts, and jewelry store. We finished the night with some ice cream from Cremerie St. Paul. Day 2, bright and early, stop by Pidgeon Espresso bar for a nice latte or Earl Grey tea before the full day gets started. We found the Montreal's metro system quite convenient and gets you around the city pretty fast. We paid for a 3-day pass for only $27 including their Opus card and saved us a lot of Uber money. We arrived at the Montreal's Botanical Garden, which consists of 75 acres of themed gardens and greenhouse collections of spices, tropicals, and food plants, ferns, and cacti. It's like a lobster claw. We then roamed around and visited their Japanese garden of koi fish, bonsai trees, and the Chinese garden of paintings and art, followed by the contemporary First Nations garden inspired by Aboriginal and Inuit cultures. After spending all this time in the sun walking around the garden, we decided to go to Plateau Mont Royal and head for some lunch. For lunch, you'll find yourself lining up for at least 45 minutes for Banquise, but very worth, serving the famous Canadian staple, poutine, of 28 flavors and varieties. They're open 24 hours, made fresh, and this poutine was really one of our favorite restaurants and definitely hit the spot. Plateau Mont Royal and its neighboring streets were filled with more shops, food, cafes, and murals. It's also the hippest part of Montreal, known for the unique, trendy, and beautiful colored houses with outdoor staircases of its own personality and character. In the afternoon, hit up Chinatown and its many bakeries, buns, cultural clothing stores, and local bubble tea. For dinner, we recommend finding one of the many rooftop patios that Montreal offers with views of the city. We booked multiple the previous night, but because of storms and bad weather in Montreal, the patio was closed. Today we went to the Enfants terrible, but due to potential windy weather again, the tables were luckily inside. It still had a great 360 window view of the city. After dinner, when it gets dark, enjoy the breathtaking views of the entire Montreal city on the Grande Roue, which is the Ferris wheel of Montreal at the Old Port. For about 20 minutes, you get about 4 to 5 laps around, giving you ample time to take pictures and enjoy the city lights.
We're going on a romantic night walk.
End off your night with some dessert, either chocolate and cheese fondue or Beaver Tails, or more ice cream. Start off day 3 by visiting Little Italy's pizzerias, Italian grocery stores, bakeries, artisan cafes, and the Jean Talon market. The rain that morning didn't stop us from visiting the market though, after a nice warm coffee from Cafe St. Henri. The Jean Talon market was full of local produce and fruits and goodies. The rain stopped just in time for a visit to St. Joseph's Oratory of Mont Royal, a Catholic basilica and shrine dedicated to St. Joseph. Visitors yearly climb the basilica's 99 steps on their knees apparently. You can visit the basilica, Brother Andre's actual heart in a chamber, the tomb of St. Brother Andre, the crypt, the chapel, and the outdoor terrace looking over the city. This is a pound of smoked Montreal meat from the famous Schwartz Deli. Definitely go get it for lunch. Make your way in the afternoon to the Notre Basilica of Montreal, which is a large historic cathedral and active place of worship. You can book an aura experience of visual lights and displays of all the religious artwork, or you can tour it at your own pace, which is what we did. But definitely book beforehand because it can get really busy. An afternoon ice cream snack is a must-have at this quaint cafe, Le Petit Dep. We found it from outside just walking by, and it looks really pretty inside, so we decided to try their fruit ice creams. We quickly walked through the underground city, which is a pedestrian network in the heart of the city, linking metro stations, offices, hotels, and shopping centers. Next, March Atwater Market is another market along the canal that offers local produce, meat, and cheese from multiple vendors. They've got an outdoor food truck, and ice cream, and music. Walk along the canal and make your way to reservation at Joe Beef, the highly anticipated and popular restaurant serving steak and seafood. You need a reservation about 2 months beforehand to land a spot. Aside from this oysters, we also got uni salad, lobster pasta, and veal chops to share. They are also known for their multiple appetizers and specials. When in Montreal, you must visit their speakeasies or pubs, as their nightlife is pretty lit. We highly recommend this clandestino bar located behind a discreet door with graffiti. It had a low-lit garden vibe with creative drinks and beautiful decor. You also must dedicate at least one full day in Quebec City, which is a 3-hour bus ride from Montreal, which we took early in the morning and returned late at night.
We're heading to Quebec City now.
So we transited to the station and we got on our bus at 7 and took a nice long nap. Upon arrival, we were welcomed with old traditional buildings of Quebec, filled with history and culture. In the heart of Quebec City was Old Quebec, retaining hundreds of years of colonial architecture. Here, people speak more French and less English than Montrealers. We first had brunch at La Bouche, which had amazing decor of snowshoe and toboggan equipment on the ceiling, a school notebook as its menu, a car in their dining room, and a bathtub in its washroom as the sink. It was very busy, so luckily we made a reservation first. Then you're going to want to hop on the 45-minute bus to Montmorency Falls, which is a huge waterfall in the river. It's 30 meters higher than Niagara Falls. And not only can you enjoy the view of the falls from a variety of angles and viewpoints, you can also zipline or cable car over the falls. There was such a lineup and we didn't end up ziplining, but it was a $29 fee for 30 seconds of screaming! Instead of paying for the cable car back up, you can also climb back up that 487-step staircase that you had just gone down on. Next up, take a tour of the Citadel of Quebec, an active door. I wonder why. The Royal 22nd Regiment was an infantry battalion whom many brave soldiers fought and received many achievements during this time. We then went to walk the old streets of Quebec by the Old Port, where there are restaurants, boutiques, entertainers, and statues. Our main attraction was the Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac, which is also a must-visit in the winter with ice sculptures of the entire chateau, slides, food, and festivals. Find yourself in a restaurant such as Café du Monde with a view of the waters at Old Quebec Port, or one of the multiple French creperies in Quebec. Quebec City has so much to offer that you really could spend more than a day here on your trip, which we wish we did. We decided to make our way back to the bus, which was going to be 3 hours ride back, and we were to land at 11 p.m. in Montreal. After a long bus ride back to Montreal, we still decided to visit another speakeasy.
Push. Oh my god. Are we too short? Is he gonna laugh at us? Okay, look left. And I'll look right.
What brick looks different?
I don't know. Are we supposed to press it though?
Is it a lever?
Whoops, sorry.
The Fort Mirror was a different vibe, as you can tell, but this one was our favorite. It involved getting an invitation through an email on their website showing that bouncer, finding that special brick to enter, and this menu. It was a crime mystery involving suspects on each page and hints included in various drinks in order to solve the mystery. The last day of any trip means to drag around your luggage across the city. In Montreal, it was harder as the grounds were rocky. You can also find luggage drop-off storages around the city too. First, brunch at Le Passé Composé is a must.
I once felt I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that I was a mess. So you were shrugging your shoulders. I'm closed off, that's what I told you. Soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back.
Next, we went back to the old Montreal port because we were on our way to our booked boat cruise on the St. Lawrence River. The boat cruises come in 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and special dinner cruises, and this was going to be our first time ever on a boat cruise.
Riding on the dizzying heights.
There's an outside deck, a half-covered deck, and a downstairs deck. It's a first-come, first-served, so you can see that everyone here has already found their spots early and sat by the window to enjoy their view.
The colors, they were wrong. It was way more than a dream. We climbed up, yeah, over the hillside. So right, we stood there all wide-eyed. You and I floated on it.
C'est la vie, truly.
There's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Living in the past.
The end of our trip.
I'm feeling it tonight. Riding on the dizzying heights.
There are many parks nearby the old port, with statues, water fountains, art stalls like Jacques Cartier, and livelihood during the day to explore.
Everything's so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together.
Of course, this means we visited the Ferris wheel in the daylight too. It gave a much different vibe. All the food and artisan vendor stalls were open and people ziplined over the river. Both at nighttime and in the daylight, you can see a long lineup of people taking a picture with the Montreal sign. You can even rent pedal boards that you can board just in this little section of the St. Lawrence River, and there's an adventure section as well. For early dinner, enjoy some food at the rooftop patio at Terrace Bonsecoeur, just by the Ferris wheel and the Montreal sign. Unfortunately, upstairs there was some meeting going on, so we had to sit downstairs, but it was still a lovely day. We were still hungry, so we decided that the well-known dumpling from Chinatown, Sammy and Soup Dumplings, was worth a visit, and ended up being our last meal in Montreal. The soup dumplings were $10 for 10 pieces, almost unheard of in Vancouver, and super juicy and delicious. Our trip was sadly over, but it was filled with amazing memories and a well-planned itinerary that I hope you can use for your next trip.
Almost tripped.